On a cool, clear autumn afternoon in Los Angeles, in a Latino neighborhood, it is the start of Halloween, and Max and his older brother Brian go trick-or-treating with the Ramirez kids. But the day has started badly for little Max, and Tina senses that something is wrong. Earlier that day, Max discovered his pet goldfish, Cleo, dead. He is extremely upset, and his older brother was not helping either. Max is about to cry again when Tina tells him that everything will be okay, for their very next stop is Abuelita's house. She will know what to do. This Halloween, Abuelita is celebrating El Dia de los Muertos in memory of her husband Dionisio, who recently died. So when the kids arrive, they are surprised to discover marigold petals outside her door. Abuelita comes out to greet them with a tray of traditional sugar skulls and then invites them in. In the center of her living room, the ofrenda, a table with a picture of her husband, Dionisio, with flowers, candles, papel picado, pan de muertos, and a number of things he enjoyed in life. On the ofrenda, Max spots a small collar, so he and Tina take it to Abuelita. "Oh," she says, "that is Panchos Collar, Dionisio's favorite pet iguana when he was a boy. The only two things I have of Pancho are his collar and that picture on the ofrenda of our cemetery back in Mexico where Pancho was buried." Abuelita sighs. "Dionisio really loved that iguana, and I truly wish I had a picture of Pancho, for that would make Dionisio's ofrenda complete." The kids gather around Abuelita and she pulls out an old Aztec vase. El Dia de los Muertos started with our ancestors. See this half man and half skeleton? This represents their idea that life and death were one, and life did not stop with death. On the back of the vase is the Lord of the Underworld, Mictlantecuhtli. After you die, he greets you, then sends you off to a certain place. Babies who died would be placed in a nursing tree. Aztec warriors killed in battle are changed into hummingbirds and sent to circle the sun god Tonatiuh. All over Mexico, families go to their cemeteries with food and music to spend the night and celebrate those who have gone on before them. And on their way home, sprinkle marigold petals, a path to bring the spirits to their ofrendas, as I have done outside my door. Abuelita laughs and tells the kids that she wishes Mictlantecuhtli would awaken Pancho and send him here to Los Angeles. He would have quite a long journey, but what sights he would see in the underworld just to get here. As she says that, the little musical calaveras walk over and into the picture of the Mexican cemetery and find Pancho's grave, and, below that, Pancho, who is sleeping. They call upon Mictlantecuhtli, who comes to see Pancho and awakens him, then commands him to follow the path to its end. Behind Pancho, a marigold path forms, and off he goes, through the underworld. The sun god Tonatiuh rises to light his way, and from its corona 3 hummingbirds join Pancho. Along the way, they pass the nursing tree filled with hungry babies. Some bicyclists come by and give him a lift, and take him to the plaza to see the sights. But when he finally reaches the border guards stop him. His hummingbird companions fly into action and distract the guards, allowing Pancho to slip past them and into the big city. But he loses his marigold path in the tangle of freeways. And unfortunately, he is spotted by 2 mean people whose idea of fun is to run him over with their car. But at the very last moment, he is rescued by a pair of angels from the City of Angels, and they set him back on his marigold path, which brings him straight to Abuelita's house and into the arms of Dionisio's spirit, who just so happens to be sitting at his ofrenda, listening to Abuelita tell stories to the kids. The 2 old friends are very happy to be together again, and they hug each other. After all, it's been a very long time. Now it is time for the kids to go back trick-or-treating, but Tina and Max turn back quickly to return Panchos Collar to the ofrenda. When they notice Dionisio's picture, they both smile. for there with Dionisio is Pancho. Max says to Tina, Abuelita's ofrenda is now complete. The very next day at the Nelsons' house, the older kids are looking over all their candy they got, and Mrs. Nelson wonders, where are Tina and Max? We're going outside to play, and run past her in the hallway, but she has a feeling they were up to something. When Mrs. Nelson peers into Max's room, she sees a very curious sight. An ofrenda made for Cleo the goldfish.